On the news tonight, President Tinubu nominates Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, 27 others as ministers. Ondo Assembly constitutes standing committees to ensure sanctity and accountability. Divergent views greet National Assembly's move for validity extension of JAMB results. And from the foreign scene, captive Niger president remains defiant after coup.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on the news tonight. My name is Timile Faladi. The anxiety over President Bola Tinubu's proposed cabinet members has been finally laid to rest as the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, presented the ministerial list to Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Tinubu's ministerial list has Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, a member of the House of Representatives from Akoko Northeast, Northwest, and ex-governors, senators, APC bigwigs, dons, and technocrats. Some of the nominees include former Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, former Ebonyi State Governor, David Umahi, former Kaduna State Governor, Nasir El-Rufai, and presidential spokesman, Dele Alaki. At least 9 names are still expected to be forwarded by the president in compliance with the constitutional stipulation of 1 minister per state and FCT. The Ondo State House of Assembly has constituted standing committees in order to ensure sanctity and proper transparency, accountability, and due process in government business. While announcing members of the committees, Speaker Olamide Oladiji charged them to see the position as an opportunity to serve the state and to improve the well-being of the common man. House of Assembly correspondent Omoshilola Adesoye Ajayi now reports.
Part of the constitutional responsibility of the House of Assembly is to perform oversight functions on ministries, departments and agencies of government as entrenched in Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. It is in line with this that the House put in place standing committees as part of measures to enhance the functionality of the Assembly. Not less than 33 standing committees were set up during the plenary, presided over by the Speaker, Olamide Oladiji, to carry out oversight functions on all ministries, departments and agencies of government with a view to ensuring sanctity in government business. The Speaker, Olamide Oladiji, who noted that the move is to strengthen the economic capacity of the state by contributing to a strong drive of its internal generated revenue, charged members of each committee to give it all seriousness it deserves in order to achieve the set goal.
Each committee chairman and members have the constitutional right to oversee and scrutinize funds appropriated to MDAs to ensure strict compliance and are so appropriate. All MDAs must cooperate with the respective standing committee in the discharge of their duty. In all decisions of the committee, the overall interest of the citizen and the good governor must be prioritized.
Some of the committees are Selection Committee, headed by the Speaker, Olamide Oladiji, Allocation and Welfare, with its chairman as the Deputy Speaker, Prince Abayomi Akinrutan. Rules and Business, led by the Majority Leader, Oluwole Ogunmolashoye. Others are committees on government house and protocol, chaired by the Speaker, Olamide Oladiji, Finance and Appropriation, chaired by the Majority Leader, Oluwole Ogunmolashoye, Works, headed by the Parliamentary Secretary, Moyolorun Ogunwumiju. The Committee on Nosopadek is headed by Allen Oluwatoyin. Committee on Information is chaired by Olatunji Oshati. Youth and Sports Development, Olajide Oguntodu. House Committee on Health is headed by Dr. Christopher Ogunlano. Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs is to be chaired by Japhet Oluwatoyin. Science and Education is chaired by Kolawole Ologede. Tertiary Institution is headed by Chris Adebusua. Lands and Housing chaired by Biola Oladapo. House Committee on Agriculture at Tinuke Witherspoon, while Security, Culture and Community Development is chaired by Ololade Gbegudu, among others. Omoshiliola Adesoye Ajayi, Osrc News.
For Nigeria to achieve food sufficiency and security, President Bola Tinubu and the National Assembly must work together to reduce the cost of farming. A group of agribusiness stakeholders in Ondo State at a press conference in Akure identified the decentralization of operational structure of federal agencies involved in agriculture sector, addressing issues of security of rural dwellers as key to changing the narrative for improved productivity from farmers. Osrc's Sahid Aribisala has more.
Going by available indices, Nigeria, a country of over 200 million people, blessed with vast arable land, continues to struggle in production of food to meet internal and external demands. Nigeria's President, Bola Tinubu, weeks into his tenure, declared a state of emergency on food security, perhaps an indication of his commitment to improving the agricultural sector. For the group of agribusiness stakeholders in Ondo State, drawn from livestock and crop commodity productions, is providing recommendations for the president to act on for success. An agribusiness expert and senior special assistant to Ondo State Governor, Mr. Akinolotu, who spoke on behalf of the group, said, among other things, decisive steps must be taken to improve security for farmers and rural dwellers.
In most states of the Federation, if not all, farmers and their farms are largely unsecured or insecure. It is good Mr. President has declared a state of emergency in the agricultural sector. He should go ahead to effect a new security architectural design that will allow each local government or state to secure farms and farmers in the country. Mr. President, sir, famine is looming in Nigeria. It is that serious because this thing is underreported. A lot of rural dwellers are still living and you need to interact. Thank God for Amotekun in Ondo State.
Olotu highlighted the need for farmer-friendly loan schemes, decentralization of operational structure at federal agencies in the agri sector, and reduction in cost of farming.
Interest rate on farming loan must be maximum 4% for credible and proven indigenous investors. Import duties must go. Local government or a revised D-free. It is impossible to make profit or even break even with the present situation. Cost of rural transportation is killing. This is compounded by poor access to roads to farming communities.
The group also identified the need to revisit the school feeding program, development of a 10-year master plan for agribusiness in Nigeria, as well as a mandate to all local government to work on strategic rural roads as essential for success.
School feeding is a palliative measure that will penetrate homes across the country, and we are recommending it. Procurement and sales of rugged tricycles with trailers to farmers at an affordable cost, with repayment spread over a period of time. This will reduce cost of transportation to and fro farm and movement of goods and farm produce.
The stakeholders anchored their call on the urgent need for the President and the National Assembly to swing into action immediately, with an optimism that the agricultural sector can be transformed in 12 to 24 months. Sahid Aribisala, Osrc News.
Nigerians have continued to react to the call for a bill to prompt joint admission and the matriculation board JAMB increase in the validity period of its unified tertiary matriculation examination UTME results. Those who lent their voices in Akure, the state capital, came up with divergent opinions on the matter. Omoriola Ngbeji has details.
Over the years, millions of Nigerians have sat for the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination to gain admission into higher institutions of learning, after which the results will become useless if no admission was secured. In 2016, Joint Admission and Matriculation Board (JAMB) contemplated extending the validity period of its UTME results to 3 years, an idea which has never seen the light of day. Recently, a lawmaker representing Ekiti North 1 federal constituency, Akintunde Rotimi, tabled the bill at the 10th Assembly, expressing concern that the UTME result is valid for just 1 year and stressing that it is worrisome that the result becomes useless for candidates who cannot secure admission into any tertiary institution of their choice in the concerned academic year. The bill, which has now scaled through the second reading at the Green Chamber, wants JAMB to have a rethink so as to meet the global standard.
Prayers that I have on this motion is number one, to urge the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board to rethink and allow its results to be valid for 3 years.
Reacting, an educationist, Stephen Ojo, frowned at the decision, insisting that all stakeholders must sit and put other levels in the education sector into consideration before embarking on any policy.
If not because the economy is so bad, and unfortunately the way I put it is that our government don't seem to have much time and emphasis on education. There's no need for it. By the time you do it 3 years, what is WAEC doing? What will NECO be doing? What is GSS3? Primary 6, what will they be doing? Those are the stakeholders on that line. Call them, plan together. By the time you plan 3 years for JAMB at the top, that's the highest level of education in Nigeria. What happens to primary 6? Are you going to plan for 3 years? WAEC? 3 years, GSS 3 years, GSS2 3 years. That's why I said, allow all the stakeholders to meet, sit down together. What are we going to do? Not JAMB alone.
In the same vein, Chairman, Academic Staff of Junior Secondary Schools, Ondo State Chapter, Tajuddin Balogun, believes in the yearly conducted of UTME, saying, until government makes concrete decisions that will improve the education sector, no policy will work.
They are just trying to make policies that are not realistic and and in some cases to favor some particular group. If JAMB is done once a year, it is enough. Is it they want to do it twice a year in a system where lecturers will go on strike, government will not be too serious in attending to their issues? Where we are in a country where the last 8 months, students were at home. Then if you now do the JAMB and give them admission, where are they going to be admitted into? The facilities are not. My suggestion now is that it should still remain at once a year, and whoever gains admission that particular year and refuses to use it should lose it.
However, a parent, Ali Monebi, threw his weight behind the National Assembly bill and said the risk associated with the annual exercise is enormous.
I believe it's one of the bills that should gladden the hearts of every parent. In the first place, the bill doesn't contradict the extant law of JAMB, and secondly, it will save the parents of having to register their awards every year.
As it stands, Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas said an ad hoc committee would be constituted to interface with the Federal Ministry of Education to ensure compliance. Omoriola Hungbeji, Osrc News.
You're still watching Osrc News at 7. Would like to take a break now. Do stay with us.
Win an all-expense paid trip to Disneyland in the Indomie Golden Magnet promo. To participate, just buy the Indomie 70-gram pack and look for the magnet inside. Log into www.indomie.ng/Golden Magnet promo to fill in your details and enter your unique magnet code. All the Golden Magnet winners will get to experience the wonders of Disneyland. Silver Magnet winners stand a chance to win amazing prizes. Every pack of Indomie you buy comes with your favorite Indomitable magnet. Terms and conditions apply. Indomie, tasty nutrition, good for you.
Words are hard to find, but they're still heavy on my mind tonight. The pain is deep inside, but I still want to hide. Happy birthday!
this what you really want to do?
Yes, Dad. That's what I've been trying to show you.
Fight for your dreams the advanced way with Glow LTE Advanced, the power of 3 data networks in one. Get a Glow SIM or dial *301#.
Welcome to Buckingham Parks and Gardens, the epitome of standard and luxury living. Nestled amidst nature's beauty, this exquisite real estate development offers you of comfort, elegance, and tranquility. Convenience and accessibility are paramount at Buckingham Parks and Gardens. Children fun field and recreational centers are not excluded in this world-class aesthetic estate situated at Aisu Road, Owodiede, Oshogbo in Osun State. Don't miss your chance to be a part of this extraordinary community. Contact our sales team today at Buckingham Parks and Garden. Your dream home awaits you.
Adron Homes.
Building cities, communities, and homes.
Win an all-expressway trip to Disneyland in the Indomie Golden Magnet promo. To participate, just buy the Indomie 70 gram pack and look for the magnet inside. Log into www.indomie.ng/Golden Magnet promo to fill in your details and enter your unique magnet code. All the Golden Magnet winners will get to experience the wonders of Disneyland. Silver Magnet winners stand a chance to win amazing prizes. Every pack of Indomie you buy comes with your favorite indomitable magnet. Terms and conditions apply. Indomie, tasty nutrition, good for you.
When it's bright and early, get your breakfast right. Then you need all the nutrients that will hold you tight. Then stay in power, you find it all in peak. Then every move you make picks at you all the way. And the beat goes on.
Power on every morning with our Peak Protein Breakfast to make the most of every day. Peak. Reach for your peak.
Win an all-expressway trip to Disneyland in the Indomie Golden Magnet promo. To participate, just buy the Indomie 70 gram pack and look for the magnet inside. Log into www.indomie.ng/Golden Magnet promo to fill in your details and enter your unique magnet code. All the Golden Magnet winners will get to experience the wonders of Disneyland. Silver Magnet winners stand a chance to win amazing prizes. Every pack of Indomie you buy comes with your favorite indomitable magnet. Terms and conditions apply. Indomie, tasty nutrition, good for you.
When it's bright and early, get your breakfast right. Then you need all the nutrients that will hold you tight. Then stay in power, you find it all in peak. Then every move you make picks at you all the way. And the beat goes on.
Power on every morning with our Peak Protein Breakfast to make the most of every day. Peak. Reach for your peak.
Glad to have you back. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at Osrc TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel Osrc TV Ondo. The presidency has debunked the report that tuition fees in the federal universities have been increased, saying there was no such thing. It should be recalled that many universities and federal government colleges have announced an increase in the fees paid by students. Reacting to the plethora of complaints against the alleged hike in school fees in the Ivory Tower, Special Advisor to the President on Special Duties, Communications and Strategy, Dele Alake, said federal universities were tuition-free. Alake explained that what happened was that some universities introduced discretionary charges for hostel accommodation, registration, laboratory, and other charges which, according to him, are not tuition. He added that President Bola Tinubu remains committed to his promise of ensuring that every Nigerian has access to quality tertiary education. Justice Hamza Muazu of the Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja has dismissed the requests filed by the Department of State Services, DSS, seeking a 14-day extended detention order for the suspended Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Godwin Emefiele. The DSS based its application on purported new evidence it had discovered. The application was discreetly filed by the DSS legal team and came before the vacation judge. Justice Muazu dismissed the application, citing it as an abuse of court process and identifying the lack of jurisdiction. The application came in the wake of Mr. Emefiele's rearrest by the DSS from the Federal High Court premises in Lagos following his remand in a correctional center while awaiting the fulfillment of his bail conditions granted by Justice Nicholas Owebo. And now to the foreign scene. Niger's President Mohamed Bazoum has issued a defiant message on Twitter after soldiers announced a coup overnight in the West African nation. Trouble began early on Wednesday when troops from the Presidential Guard took him captive. His foreign minister had said the takeover does not have the backing of the old military, but the army chief has now said he backs the junta. Mr. Bazoum is a key Western ally in the fight against Islamist militants. And still on the foreign scene, at least one person has died as powerful typhoon Doksuri lashed the coastline of the northern Philippines with gale force winds and torrential rain, bursting banks of rivers and leaving thousands without electricity. Rain pounded coastal communities, including isolated villages tucked away in tropical forest. Many people had already been moved to safer areas ahead of the storm, which brought winds of up to 175 kilometers per hour.
Typhoon Doksuri has lashed East Asia, causing devastation in northern Philippines and threatened China and Taiwan with gale force winds. The typhoon brought more than 3 feet of rain with it in places, bursting banks of rivers and leaving thousands without electricity. Rain pounded coastal communities, forcing many to be evacuated as winds reached 170 kilometers per hour. Chinese Meteorological Administration labeled the event a super typhoon as Guangdong province one of the worst storms in a decade. Doksuri is nearly 900 kilometers across and is expected to sustain strength as it continues towards Taiwan and the Chinese mainland, where it's expected to arrive on Friday. In Taiwan, supermarket shelves were cleared as residents anticipated spending longer indoors sheltering from the storm.
I came to buy vegetables and meat to prepare for the typhoon, but there's nothing left.
Throughout July, record temperatures have caused havoc across the globe, sparking wildfire in the US and the Mediterranean. Scientists say global warming will also make storms wetter, windier, and more violent. Akintunde Akinshimola for Osrc News.
Nigeria's Super Falcons have come from a goal down to hand FIFA Women's World Cup could host Australia a crushing 3-2 defeat at the Long Park Stadium in Brisbane. Emily Van Egmond had put the Maltesers in front in the first minutes of first half at a time. Just when it seemed like the Aussies were going to go into the break ahead, Uchenna Kalu restored parity for the Nigerians in the 5th minute of first half stoppage time. Osinachi Ohale then put the Super Falcons in front on 65 minutes before Asisatu Shwala, who came into the fray as a 54th minute substitute, capitalized on a mix-up in the Maltesers back line to make it 3-1 for the Super Falcons. Alana Kennedy then pulled one back for Australia in the 10th minute of second half stoppage time, but it was too late for the World Cup co-host. It was the first time in World Cup history that Africa's most successful national team would be coming from behind to win a game at women's football's biggest stage. Before we go tonight, let's take another look at the major stories. President Bola Tinubu has nominated Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, a member of the House of Representatives from Akoko Northwest Northeast constituency, and 27 others as ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We told you that the Ondo Assembly has constituted standard committees to ensure sanctity, transparency, and accountability in its running, as well as interface with ministries departments, and agencies. We brought to you, but divergent views have greeted National Assembly's move for extension of the validity of JAMB results. And from the foreign scene, you heard that captive Nigerian president remains defiant after some military personnel took over his government. And that's the news. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.